Hello, everyone out there, and let's get right into it. One of the things that I find always comes up in the UPSC Mains exam
Yeah.
is science and technology
Yeah.
and current affairs
Yeah.
and how those are impacting India and the world. So let's talk about something today which is cutting edge and a little bit complicated. Quantum computing. Today, we're going to be talking all about quantum computing.
Absolutely.
We've got this really, really interesting article we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
It's called A Beginner's Guide to Quantum Computing. It's got the word explained in it.
Yeah.
Which means it's for the layman.
Yeah.
And that's us.
Right.
So, yeah, let's break it down. What exactly is quantum computing in a way that anyone can understand?
So I think it's useful to start by thinking about the computers we use every day.
Okay.
The laptops, the phones. At their heart, they rely on bits, which can be either a 0 or a 1.
Okay.
Just like a light switch that's either on or off.
Right. Gotcha.
Now, quantum computers, they use qubits.
Qubits. Okay.
Which can be 0, 1, or both at the same time.
Both at the same time.
That's right. This mind-bending concept called superposition.
Superposition. Yeah. That sounds a little bit sci-fi, right?
A little bit.
So you give us a simple way of understanding that, like an analogy or something?
Absolutely. Imagine a coin spinning in the air.
Okay.
Until it lands, it's both heads and tails at the same time.
Okay, I see.
Right. That's sort of the idea behind superposition. Qubits can exist in multiple states at once, which is what allows these quantum computers to perform calculations so much faster than classical computers.
Oh, okay. So they're not just doing things linearly, right? They're like doing a bunch of things at the same time.
That's exactly right. They can explore multiple possibilities simultaneously.
So that's like the big game changer for solving complex problems.
That's right, because you can kind of tackle all of these different avenues all at the same time and then see what sticks. And there's another really fascinating and bizarre concept called entanglement.
Entanglement, okay.
This is kind of like, imagine having 2 gloves, one in each box, and you send one box to the moon.
Okay.
If you open the box here on Earth and you see a right-hand glove, you instantly know the box on the moon contains the left-hand glove.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's entanglement. 2 particles linked in such a way that knowing the state of one instantly tells you the state of the other, even across vast distances.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how does that actually work in quantum computing? Like, what's the connection?
So in quantum computing, entangled qubits can share information instantaneously no matter how far apart they are.
Wow.
This allows for incredibly fast and efficient processing, making it possible to tackle problems that would be impossible for classical computers.
So, like, even if the qubits are, like, miles apart?
That's right.
They're still linked?
That's the idea.
Okay. So all of this sounds incredible, right? It's like almost hard to believe, right? But what does this actually mean in the real world? What kind of applications are we actually talking about?
Well, we're talking about potential revolutions in so many fields. Cryptography, optimization problems, drug discovery, materials science.
Yeah.
Practically every field you can think of could be impacted.
So, for example, how would it be used in drug discovery?
You could design medicines with unprecedented precision tailored to a person's genetic makeup. You could potentially cure diseases that are currently incurable.
Wow.
You could optimize complex systems like logistics networks to improve efficiency.
Yeah.
The possibilities are really quite vast.
So it really does feel like this could be a game changer for all these different fields.
Absolutely.
It sounds like it's early days, right?
It is still early days. It's important to kind of understand the historical context here.
Okay.
The idea of quantum computing was first proposed by Richard Feynman way back in 1982.
Oh, wow. So this has been around for a while.
Yeah, he realized that classical computers really struggled to simulate quantum systems.
Right.
So he kind of threw out this idea of using quantum mechanics itself for computation. Oh, I see.
And that was really the beginning.
Okay, so right from the get-go, like the point of this was to do things that normal computers just could never do.
Exactly. To tackle those problems that were simply too complex for classical computers. And then in 1994, Peter Shor developed an algorithm, now known as Shor's algorithm, which could factor large numbers exponentially faster than any classical algorithm.
Shor's algorithm, yeah. I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
But can you remind me why factoring large numbers is so important?
So much of our online security relies on the difficulty of factoring large numbers. It's the basis of our encryption that protects our data financial transaction, all of that.
Okay.
Shor's algorithm running on a sufficiently powerful quantum computer
Yeah.
could crack these codes,
Yeah.
making our current security measures obsolete.
So basically all of our passwords and bank accounts
Potentially, yeah.
would just be wide open.
It's a significant concern.
Wow. Okay, so this is a pretty big deal.
It is. What are some other big milestones in the history of quantum computing that you think are important?
Yeah, well, fast forward to 2019, Google's Sycamore processor achieved quantum supremacy.
Quantum supremacy. I've heard that phrase a lot, but I don't fully get it. Can you explain what quantum supremacy means?
It means that a quantum computer has performed a task that would be practically impossible for even the most powerful classical computer to complete in a reasonable amount of time. So Google Sycamore did this by solving a specific problem in about 200 seconds, something that would have taken a supercomputer 10,000 years.
10,000 years. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty impressive.
That was a real demonstration of the potential of this technology.
So is that like the biggest thing that's happened, or are there other big things that have happened?
Well, it was a huge milestone, and the breakthroughs haven't stopped there. So in 2023, IBM unveiled their Eagle processor. It had 127 qubits.
127 qubits. Okay, so that's a pretty big jump.
Huge jump from Google's Sycamore. But along with these incredible advances, we also need to be mindful of the potential downsides.
Right. So let's talk about that. What are some of the concerns around quantum computing?
Well, one of the biggest, as we discussed earlier, is the potential impact on cybersecurity. If quantum computers become powerful enough to crack our encryption, it could have serious consequences for everything from our personal data to national security.
Yeah, like you were saying with Shor's algorithm, right? That's a scary thought. But you mentioned earlier that researchers are working on quantum-resistant cryptography. What exactly does that involve?
Essentially, they're developing new encryption algorithms that are designed to be resistant to attacks from both classical and quantum computers. They rely on different mathematical problems that are believed to be much harder for even quantum computers to solve.
So it's like a constant race to stay ahead of the bad guys.
Exactly. It's an ongoing battle, but a crucial one. We can't afford to fall behind.
Yeah, the stakes are really high. Okay, so cybersecurity is one big concern. What are some other potential downsides?
Well, there's also the issue of job displacement. As quantum computers become more sophisticated, they could automate tasks that are currently done by humans.
Right. That's the classic automation debate. It seems like with every new technology, there are concerns about job losses. But couldn't quantum computing also create new jobs and opportunities that we can't even imagine yet?
Absolutely. It's crucial to remember that technological advancements often lead to the creation of new industries and job roles. The key is to adapt, invest in education and training, and prepare the workforce for the jobs of the future.
Right. So it's not just about mitigating the negative impacts, but also about harnessing the potential of this technology to create new opportunities. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about India's role in this quantum revolution. We mentioned the National Quantum Mission earlier. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. India recognizes the strategic importance of quantum computing and has launched several initiatives to support its growth. The National Quantum Mission, launched in 2023, is a prime example. With a budget of 6,000 crore, which is a significant investment, the mission aims to develop indigenous quantum computers, promote research in areas like quantum communication and cryptography, and build a skilled workforce in these technologies.
6,000 crore. Wow, that's a lot of money. So what are some of the specific areas where India is focusing its efforts?
Well, India is taking a multi-pronged approach with research activities spanning various aspects of quantum computing. There's a strong emphasis on developing new quantum algorithms, designing more stable and scalable quantum computers, and exploring applications in fields like cryptography, drug discovery, and material science.
So it's not just about the theory, it's also about translating that research into practical applications that can benefit society.
Precisely. And beyond research, there's a growing focus on building a skilled workforce. Several universities in India are now offering specialized courses and degree programs in quantum computing.
So they're really investing in the future.
They are. And let's not forget about international collaborations. India is actively partnering with other countries to share knowledge and expertise, recognizing that global cooperation is essential for progress in this field.
So India is really stepping up to the plate. But what would you say are India's strengths and weaknesses in this area? What opportunities and challenges lie ahead?
Well, India definitely has some key strengths. first and foremost, a vast pool of talented scientists and engineers. India has a long tradition of excellence in STEM fields, and that's a huge asset in this pursuit.
Right. Brain power is definitely a strength. What else?
Another strength is the government's commitment to investing in this technology. The National Quantum Mission, with its significant budget, is a clear sign of that. And we're already seeing the results. New research centers are being established, educational programs are being launched, and the number of research publications from India is growing.
So the resources are there. What about the challenges? What hurdles does India need to overcome to become a true leader in quantum computing?
Well, one key challenge is the need for more sophisticated infrastructure. Developing and maintaining advanced quantum computers requires specialized equipment and facilities, and that requires significant investment.
Right. You need the right tools for the job. What other challenges are there?
Another challenge is attracting and retaining top talent. As global demand for quantum experts grows, India needs to offer competitive salaries and a supportive environment to prevent brain drain. And finally, there's the need for closer collaboration between academia, industry, and government.
So it's about creating an ecosystem that supports innovation and drives progress.
Exactly. It's about making sure research findings are translated into real-world applications and that the benefits of quantum computing reach all sectors of society.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential downsides of quantum computing, the challenges and opportunities for India, but there's still more to explore, right? Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit, and we've talked about all this amazing potential. Let's talk about the future. Like, what does a world powered by quantum computing actually look like? Paint me a picture.
Well, imagine a world where diseases like Alzheimer's or cancer or even HIV/AIDS, which are currently incurable, become treatable.
Okay.
Quantum computers could help us design personalized medicine tailored to an individual's genetic makeup.
Wow. So that's a future I think we'd all like to live in, right?
Absolutely.
What about other fields? How would quantum computing transform our industries and our daily lives?
Well, think about material science. We could design materials with properties we can only dream of right now, like superconductors that work at room temperature, or ultra-lightweight, but incredibly strong materials for construction, for transportation.
So we're talking like abundant clean energy, buildings that are like super tall and lightweight.
Exactly.
Almost like defying gravity.
That's right.
It sounds like science fiction.
It does a bit, doesn't it?
But, we talked earlier about how automation could displace jobs.
Right.
How might quantum computing change the future of work?
Well, while there might be job losses in some sectors, it's also highly likely to create entirely new jobs and opportunities we can't even fathom yet.
Okay, so it's all about being prepared.
Yeah.
Right? Like investing in education and training.
Absolutely.
So that people have the skills they need
right.
for whatever this new quantum economy looks like.
Exactly. Equipping the workforce for the jobs of the future. One area we haven't really touched upon is the ethical side of things.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. What kind of ethical considerations do we need to think about with quantum computing?
Well, as with any powerful technology, there's potential for misuse. We need to carefully consider data privacy, potential algorithmic bias, and the possibility of quantum computers being used for harmful purposes.
So making sure that we're using this technology responsibly.
Exactly. It's not just about the advancements themselves, but also ensuring they're used ethically. This needs to be a collaborative effort, bringing together experts from various fields, including the humanities and social sciences.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so before we wrap up, let's give our listeners, those aspiring civil servants preparing for the UPSC exam, some key takeaways on quantum computing. What are the must-knows to ace those tough questions?
So, first and foremost, they need to have a solid grasp of the fundamentals of quantum computing.
Okay.
We talked about qubits, superposition, entanglement. Those are the building blocks. Make sure you understand those concepts thoroughly.
Right. Don't just memorize the definitions, understand them.
Exactly. It's also important to be able to articulate the potential applications of quantum computing across different sectors and link those to relevant policy issues.
So be able to connect the dots, basically.
Yeah.
Show that you understand how this technology could impact the real world and policy-making decisions.
Exactly. And don't shy away from the ethical and societal implications. It's crucial to discuss those as well.
Right, because as future policymakers, they need to think about those aspects.
Absolutely.
Not just the technical aspects, right? Okay, so it sounds like to really excel in those UPSC exams, You need a well-rounded understanding. You've got to know the what and the how of quantum computing,
Yes.
but also the why and so what.
Exactly. And remember, this is a rapidly evolving field. Stay updated on the latest developments, read scientific journals, follow industry news. That's a key skill for any UPSC aspirant.
Great advice. All right, listeners, we've given you a crash course in quantum computing. We've talked about the mind-bending science behind it, the potential to change the world as we know it, the challenges and opportunities, even how it relates to the UPSC exam. But this is just the beginning of your journey. We encourage you to dive deeper, explore further, ask those tough questions, and keep learning. And as always, thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and until next time, keep diving deep.